Hey, weird war weirdos, it's Monday. So I thought I'd do a shit on my table. There's a lot of shit. I've painted a bunch of stuff. You know me. I can print tons of shit. Don't paint. I said paint. I didn't paint shit. I printed stuff. So let's dive in and look at this madness. It's a lot. All right, weirdos, check it out. There's the table. Lots of shit. All right, let's dive in. So, first thing we got, I kind of put them in sections here. I've been putting together my Slanesh army. So I printed up an epic fucking Keeper of Secrets. You know how much I paid for this? Nothing! Look at that badass. He is a fucking badass mofo. Big old claws. Ready to kick your face in. Awesome stuff. Then we got some, I don't know, I got these weird looking, like, I don't know what these are. They're just like, I'm like, that screams like some weird Slanesh, demonette-esque kind of corrupted soul. So I printed up a bunch of these. Pretty sweet. They kind of look like demonettes, like modified demonettes. So maybe some lesser demonette or something. Kind of cool. Printed up some of those guys. Found a cool, like, warp gate. Pretty neat. Slanesh warp gate. All the demons jump out of this thing, or it could just be like a Slanesh altar or something like that. It's kind of cool. What else we got? So I found a couple chaos robots. Alright. Since I'm doing like cultists and stuff, printed up a bunch of cultists. I'm not doing like cultists like they're all uniformed and shit. They're basically just like corrupted humans that fall into the sway of Slanesh, and they just basically dress and arm themselves with whatever they got. So we'll look at these in a second. But they've got access to a couple robots. Someone in the cult was able to make some robots. So just two brutish, low-tech, sci-fi robots right there. And then we got a whole bunch of cultists here. So there's like a little girl. There's like a girl. Looks like a Joker with a little knife. Then you got some crazy big-titted something or other. Some weird thing. You got this heavy armored, kind of like medieval armor, but he's got a gun. Then you got some weird like character. Then we got I put right here. This is like he's basically like a fucking handler of these like servo wolf things with razor saw faces and shit. And that screams like Chaos Cult right there, right? It might not be as pretty as you would think for Slanesh, but you know, whatever. Then we got some I haven't put bases on yet. Here's just like, let me see if I can get, there's a just whatever. Chick with a gun, weirdo with a gun, another chick with a gun, and there's a dude in like some sort of homemade armor. Just like, got guns right there. You got another whatever weapon dude, and a couple heavy weapon gang member things here. And then this guy, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make this a cultist or this is gonna be some Imperial vigilante. It says "Fear Me." It's like a guy in a big old fuel tank or fuel drum. I don't know. I might make this guy like the local, you know, Imperial hero. You know, when the Adeptus Arbites get killed off, this guy emerges and pulls a Charles Bronson in Death Push 3 and just saves the neighborhood. might make him an Imperial. I'm not sure. And then we got this big old bastard right here. This is like, I figured it's just some crazy looking thing. And I'm just going to make this like my Chaos Slaanesh Army's Demon Prince. So there you go. So on some weird, crazy, that's definitely Slaanesh-y. Alright, so let's stuff like Warhammer shit. Alright, so what we got here? We got some monsters. No idea what this is. I think this is some crazy monster from, I want to say Doom or some shit. But it just looks fucking cool. It's just big and monstrous. And I'm like, that could be used as almost any kind of monster. Just, you know, one-time monster encounter. Just raw. So here's a 28. Let me find a 28 mil. There you go. That's a big boy. Each a hole. Right down the gullet. Nope. So there's monsters. Got tentacles. Don't have enough tentacles. I mean, if you war game, especially if you weird war game, and you don't have any tentacles, you're doing it wrong. You're fucking doing it wrong. Get some tentacles. You ask me what they're for? I don't know. Shit. Could be for anything. So buy tentacles or get tentacles. All this shit's free, guys. I bought all this shit. Man, I might have paid $1 or $2 on something or other, but that's it. Most of the stuff is free. I just paid. This might be half a bottle of resin for me. Maybe a bottle of resin. Anyway, probably half. Man, maybe, I don't know. Not a full bottle. Anyway, tentacles. So these guys. So in my Weird World War II, I've got the Japanese have they have these druid soldiers that basically control like the insects of the world, you know, in the swamps and stuff, and they can use them against the enemies. And I was thinking that maybe these guys are like those druids, but they're like some sort of hive-based insect, maybe like bees or hornets or some shit, and that's what they are. They're covered in like these giant like beehives or hornet nests or something like that. I thought that'd be kind of cool. I think this comes from some fucking video game. The Last People or some dumb shit. I think there's an HBO movie for it. I don't give a shit. But anyway, they look cool. The monsters look cool. The video game's dumb, but the monsters look cool. There you go. So I'm going to use those as Imperial Japanese druidic troops that can manipulate the bees and the hornets and the wasps, shit like that. So that's kind of cool. You know, it's not bad enough they're shooting bullets at you. Next thing you know, there's killer bees and fucking all sorts of shit attacking you. Man, Japanese are evil. All right, then we got over here. Check this out. You guys, some of you old schoolers know what that is. This is one of those old. This was back in the day in 2nd edition. Armor Cast came out with this. Armor Cast / Forge World / Epicast, whoever did it. But these were Tyranid vehicles, and this is, I think, called the Exocrine. But anyway, because this is World War II, when we make shit our own, this is going to be the main battle tank of the Morrow. The Morrow are a alien race in our timeline, and this is their battle tank. Pretty fucking sweet. And if you, as you guys know, I am relatively new to printing, about a year, and I had hollowed out vehicles without putting holes in them to let the excess resin drain. And I lost a few painted BA-64s that burst. And I have learned my lesson. So now these things are completely hollow, you know, to save the resin. And there's no sneaky surprises a year down the road that's going to burst this thing. So anyway, so if you guys are doing hollowed stuff. Like this guy's hollow, but you guys can't see because I based him, but I put holes on his feet. So any excess resin that might be in there can drain out, and you can squirt alcohol in there and swish it around and get them all clean. So you won't have any surprises, because you don't want to. You'll use a lot of resin if you did that solid, right? So you save some money. Save some money. Drill a giant hole. You know. There you go. And it looks badass. Like, you're like, oh man, it looks badass. It looks like brand new. It's light. You're like, whoa, that's not very heavy. And it's like, okay, that looks like shit. But don't, they're not looking at that. See? The shit you learn. It's part of the hobby. All right, guys. So also in my Weird World War II, the evil Nazis. And yes, there's Nazis in fucking World War II, folks. The Nazis have these ability to create these things called the Draugr, and this comes from Achtung Cthulhu. I stole all their shit because they're badass, and of course, that's not quite theirs. They, the Draugr are a real thing from back, basically undead from Nordic mythology. But anyway, these are basically like flesh golems, and there's different sizes. So these are the big one. This is like a whole bunch of dead bodies made into one giant like attacking unit. You can see this like comprised of like bodies and skulls and bones of animals and shit. So they start off like this, then they get wounded, they go to another one that's kind of a big mound, and then they go to another size, and then they get wounded smaller, almost like 3 of them stuck together. They just kind of reduce in size as you blow them to hell. So awesome. This one looks sweet. All right, then we got here's some Imperial shit I painted. This is going to be some sort of Inquisitor or something. I need to print up some, or he could just be, this might be Weird War. This might be some, like, Vatican hitman, like supernatural hitman. It's like, the Vatican, it's like, look, we can only have so much evil in this world, but if it's supernatural and it's going to actually taint the souls of humankind, maybe they send this bad boy out. He does a John Wick on some fucking evil shit. So here you go. He might be a Vatican hitman. Or assassin, super assassin or something. So, no, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that guy yet. Then we got some Imperial, like, bomb bots, which are basically, like, land drones that blow up. So, there you go. It's kind of cool. Or they could be, just like, they can be just like spy drones that drive around looking at shit. Then we got a couple of robo-dogs, servo dogs for my Imperials. Kind of cool. Pretty cool. All right, then here, guys, we've got a bunch of civilians. Up top are armed ones. So there's some Asian-flavored civilians. That's racist! We got Asian-ish weapons. He's got a sword. She's got, like, a spear. These guys are going to be Imperial citizens, like, for 40K. And, they're, like, got pitchforks. They're, like, farmers and shit. And then we got just unarmed civilians. So there's various... The modern ones are going to be for my Weird War, and the not modern one like this, she looks like medieval or something, or fantasy. That'll be my 40K civilians. There you go. That's kind of cool. You can never have civilians. I don't know. A lot of people are pussies and they don't play with civilians in their war. I mean, come on, guys. If you're fighting in a city, if you have city terrain, right? It's not fucking... More than likely, it's not abandoned. There's going to be some sort of civilian presence. You should play with civilians. Come up with some rules for your civilians. Don't be a pussy. Have a psychological aspect of your gaming. Come up with some house rules saying like, oh, there's civilians in that building. Do we want to shoot it? Are they our civilians? Maybe if you're like if you're Americans, you get the orders saying that, okay, you can't fire on, civilian structures that they have civilians. Even if the enemy's in it, you got to go in there and, clear them out. Some shit like that. Make your games harder. Stop playing with points and fucking force lists and shit. That's just gay. Gay! Do scenarios, like real scenarios. That's the real fucking game and not this tournament shit. Anywho's, there's all that. There's a bunch of civilians. All right, so I'm also doing right now is I'm going to do a campaign. We're starting in 1930, guys. That's where Weird World War II campaigns start. And in 1930 is the Yen Bai Mutiny in French Indochina, Vietnam. Okay? So what happens is that the Vietnamese underground that wants, freedom from the French, from the colonial French, they started a mutiny. But there's a big long story. But what I did here is a platoon of colonial French. These are French. These are interwar French. Whole platoon of them, soldiers. We got rifle grenadiers. We got heavy machine guns. We got light machine guns. We got a couple 155 artillery pieces, and this big clump right here. These are going to be colonial Vietnamese troops. Traitors, damn traitors. And then we got some supers in the mix. These are going to be some French supers and some special characters. So that's going to be part of my Yen Bai Mutiny campaign for the French. We got planned to print up some French armored cars, and we printed up some French trucks already. So it should be sweet. I just got to paint all this bullshit. And then to counter them, we've got the Vietnamese. They're the Vietnamese rebels. The rebels. They are a platoon of those guys. And they've got, it's cool. They got like the Vietnamese like hats. That's how you can tell them different. Pretty awesome. They're standard. Great, like real life story. Incredible fucking betrayal. Like basically the Vietnamese rebels, like their Secretary of Defense was a fucking French traitor, and it's fucking crazy. But it's gonna be great. It's great Weird World War II. So we're gonna put the screw to the French here in Indochina, and we're gonna see what happens. So because we're in Indochina, guys, is I had to find some like Vietnamese and Asian like critters that we can play with. So I got a cool storyline about why some of these critters are helping the Vietnamese rebels. So we got some 9 foxtails / kitsune right here. She's only got 2 tails. There's a cool story, the 9 foxes story. They're like mystical critters. They're kind of mischievous, but they can be really malevolent too. But it's cool. It's like as how old they become is how powerful they are, and they eventually become like celestial foxes. Anyway, I figured I had a cool story. These are going to be some like younger magical foxes that they're going to team up with the Vietnamese against the French, because the French got some supers in the mix. So these are going to be their anti-super element. Now we also got some monsters here, guys. Okay, so this is a crazy fucking monster. This is real life Vietnamese mythology. Okay, there's a creature called the Ma Vu Dai. Okay, and what she is she's like this woman with these massive saggy tits, right? And she lives in the trees, and she preys on unsuspecting humans that come by. She entices them with the milk from her big saggy boobs, and then she eats them. She's like a succubus with giant saggy boobs. There you go. I mean, what the fuck? I can't make that shit up. That's awesome. So I found one online. There she is, big old massive boobs, and she's out there, guys. She's out in the jungles, in the trees, looking for fresh prey to give her milk to, and then eat your face off. And then this is actually from Left 4 Dead. It's the Spitter, and since I said shit, she got giant massive boobs. I make her one of those too. So there you go. I got 2 different ones, 2 different models. Hot dog, and that's some Weird World War II right there. Then found this cool ass one. This is a Japanese monster. And Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Laotian, all those guys, they kind of have the same kind of critters, but they have different names for them. So anyway, but this is called the I'm gonna rape the hell of this name. It's called the Rock Kubi. I don't know, whatever the fuck. Anyway, it's like another kind of like a Black Widow chick. She's like this super hot chick, and she looks really hot, and she's hanging out, she's talking to you and whatnot, and then all of a sudden she has a super long neck. Her head can extend out, and then she eats your face off. I mean, you gotta love that shit, right? There's a message here: women, be wary of women, because their neck can extend and eat your face off, or don't drink your woman's breast milk because she just might eat your face off. There you go. So there's some cool real Asian mythology critters to use in our Weird War. I found some cool Robo Samurai, Servo Samurai, whatever you want to call them. I think they call them Robo Samurai. There's that. There's I got 8 different poses, but I've only printed one, like a test print, to see how it looked. But that looks pretty sweet. So the Japanese, my Weird War Japanese, guess what? They're going to have Robo Samurai. It's not bad enough. They got fucking badass Power Armor Samurai. They got Robo Samurai now. So, damn. That's no bueno. And then, to play one of... we're trying to finish playing out the Achtung Cthulhu Skirmish game. I needed a Pack 40. So I found a free Pack 40 on Occults. So there's the bits. I just got to put it together. I sized it. The STL is a 156, which is a stupid scale. So I upped it up to a 148, which is God's scale. For all you chumps out there, just remember 148. That's your scale. And then there's there you go, guys. So that's kind of what I've been printing. I think that's most of the stuff I've been printing for the last month or so. Oh, we forgot this thing. We found this is very Slaneshi. It's like a tome holder, or I don't know what you'd call it, but it's like slaves holding up the book. And then we found like a little demon book. Kind of cool. That could be like Chaos Warlocks, tome that can run around and hide if he's being attacked or whatever. So lots of cool shit, lots of cool ideas. Just got to paint this stuff up and start playing. All right, guys. So that's what I got printed up. I've got quite a few stuff I sent off to get painted. I got a list right in front of me, so let me read it to you. I got 6 Japanese balloon bombs, which are fucking awesome. They're like these humans that have swelled in size, and they float around, and they float across the sea, and they kind of you remember in the Japanese were sending incendiary barrage bombs of the U.S., and they would land and they cause forest fires or whatever the fuck. So the Japs are doing that again, but with humans that burst into chemical weapon, whatever I want to put in it, whatever weird evil shit I want to put in there. So we got that though, so that's pretty sweet. Then we got a couple of servitors of the Elder Gods. They're slaves of the Elder Gods that sing to them and shit, whatever. They're gonna be cool. And then I got 4 Yith, the great race of Yith critters. They're gonna be awesome. These are all most of this shit is Cthulhu. I got 5 different Draugrs to be painted up, so that's gonna be cool. That'll be for my Weird War. Then I got 8 abominable snowmen, the Tikis from Cthulhu mythos. They're kind of like giant humanoids. Then I got my Migo, my Dust Tactics Migos out to be painted. They're gonna look fucking awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's what I got going down. Right now I'm printing up another one of these. Sorry about that. That's awfully good. Another one of these endocrines, or I don't know, Maro tank. There you go. Zap ya. I got some more shit printed up. Got some more of those samurais printed up. I'm actually printing up some. I found a cool STL of Jaws. It's like Jaws swimming, just cresting the water, the fin, and then Jaws kind of out of the water, just kind of popping his head up, and then Jaws fully jumping on the boat. So that'd be sweet. And then I upsized it for Jaws, and then I kind of downsized it to more of a great white shark size. So there we go. If we got games where we're in the water, there's a boat, we can have great white surrounding it and Jaws surrounding it. So hell, shit, I don't know. It's cool. So I'm printing it. There you go. It cost me like $2. Not even that. Shit. It'd be like $1 in resin to print that shit. Maybe. And I printed up like 4 different sharks. So, be cool. All right, guys. Well, that's what I've got for Shit on My Table Monday. I hope you guys have a great week. And whatever you do in this crazy, crazy, mixed up fucking world, don't go see that stupid ass Disney shit anymore. Ever.
Hi-ho! Coming soon, Disney presents Woke Snow White. It's just like the original Snow White, but without all those outdated, triggering, offensive elements that represent everything that's wrong with the world. You're gonna love what Disney did. First, we took out the part where Snow White eats a poison apple, because that was offensive to people with eating disorders and drug addiction. Then, we removed the 7 dwarfs. You know, because midgets. And finally, we took out the part where the prince kisses Snow White while she's asleep, because I'm sure you'll agree, that part of the film was just glorified date rape. So don't miss Woke Snow White. Rated W for the wokiest woke film that ever woke the planet with its wokeness.
Ho hi, it's time to say goodbye. If Disney sues, we'll claim fair use. Ho hi, ho hi, ho hi, ho hi.
And definitely keep it weird. See ya.
They're in the trees, Robbie! Get down! Get down!